Okay. All right, everybody. Oh, goodness. Okay, I just realized that I've got the screen down here. Um, we'll, you know what? We'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and leave it. We'll go ahead and leave it like that. Um, I meant to have it on my um face so you could visually see me, but we'll just go ahead and start since it's on this on the stamping surface anyway. Okay, let's see. So if you're here and you're watching this video, you know that I am Christina Taylor, and I'm gonna share the projects with you tonight and kind of take you through those step by step with what you have in your card kit. And before we get started, I want to share a few things with you that are just currently happening. And I hope to get my email out later on with all the current links to things as well. So before we get started with the stamping, I wanted to share this was the paper pumpkin kit for the month of March. And it was complimentary of the Meandering Meadows, I think it is. It's an online exclusive product. There's the designer series paper, which we've used previously in class. Um, and that suite of products that are online exclusives are very complimentary to this particular paper pumpkin kit. So this was March's kit, and in it you got a garden green Stampin' Spot. And then we got two stamp sets, not just one. I'm kind of watching my video to make sure that it's not lagging because I've had some internet problems. So in this one, we got two stamp sets. So there was a bonus one of this floral two-step Stampin' Set with some line art and then some solid images to fill in. And that picture is slightly smaller than what the stamps actually are. You can't really probably see them better if I just leave them like right there. So you can see the images in that stamp set, very nice size. And then we've got this one, the Memorable Meadows stamp set that came with the kit as well. And it's got another flower image in it. And then four different sentiments. You've been on my mind, heartfelt thanks, have a beautiful birthday. And it's the little things that matter. So that was another stamp set that came in the kit. And then we got these wooden elements that came with the kit. They're fairly thin, probably about the thickness of a dimensional. So they just go right on the card kit or on the cards. And also got some, of course, our glue dots, dimensionals, and then some fun little iridescent sequins to put on there. So this kit the paper is just beautiful, but the cool thing about this kit, and Stampin' Up! Has been doing this with the paper pumpkin kits, so it's actually a full sheet of designer series paper. So they're intending for you to make the card like this, having that the front and then the back, of course. But I plan on cutting mine in half to be able to double the amount of cards that I can get from the kit. So this is a 9-card kit, so I can easily double them just by cutting my card bases in half and having that designer series paper for 2 cards instead of 1. So I'll make 18 instead of 9. So you've got this pattern of card base, and then there's some gorgeous grape like vellum pieces for labels, and then some like thicker rectangles. These are thinner ones. And then you've got some die cut label pieces for your stamping, and they have like an embossed gold on them. I don't know if the camera's really picking that up, but it's embossed gold. And then the next pattern paper is, this would be your card base. So you'd fold it in half and this is going to be your card. But then you'd have this on the back, so you can cut that in half and put your sentiment right there and get this beautiful like meadow scenery. So very, very pretty. So we've got 3 of those. And then same with this one. Again, that's your entire card, but you can cut that in half too and double those cards as well. And then we've got some really beautiful envelopes. A lot of people cut the envelopes apart because this designer series paper is all the way through. So it gives you a piece of DSP, but this is so complimentary of the kit that I think these envelopes will look nice. So I'll use these with as many of the cards as I can, and then just substitute my regular envelopes with that. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you're not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, or maybe you were at one time and you decided to take a break from it, I would encourage you to give it a try again. The kit coming out for April is called Delicate Wings, I believe. I don't know. I'm going to put in my newsletter and put a link in there. Anyway, it's butterfly related. And it looks so beautiful. Like, I'm really, really excited about that one. I love all things like nature-y type stuff. So yeah, so you have until April the 10th to sign up to get April's Paper Pumpkin kit. So let me put that out of the way. I do have, I'm going to get the supplies out that we're going to use on this first card here. Like I said, I've got a newsletter going out, and in that it will have both of the retiring lists for the two catalogs that we currently have. So we've got, grab these. You've got these two catalogs. These are what's current right now. This, I am just like fumbling my words today. This stamps, or this catalog, I think there's actually more carrying over from this catalog than there is from this catalog, if I'm being honest with you. However, the items that are currently offered in bundles in this catalog, if they're carrying over, they will not be offered in a bundle continuing on. So keep that in mind. But I'm going to post a link for both of these catalogs, and it'll show you what is being retired, what's not carrying over. And some of the items are priced up to 60% off, but those sale items do not start until April 9th. And if there's items on that list that are on your wish list, I highly encourage you to just go ahead and order them and not to wait for the sale items. You can always definitely take a chance, like if there's like embellishments and consumable type things and bundles, things that you want to get and you really want to try to get them for the sale price, you could absolutely do that. However, there is a good chance that some things are going to sell out. In fact, some of the in color stuff has already sold out. And I'll circle back around on that when we're going to do one of our projects here. I want to talk to you about in colors. So, but anyway, those retiring lists will be posted in my email, so you can check those out. You can also check them out on my website. What else was I going to say? Also, another thing, I'm anxiously awaiting my copy of the new catalog to come out, or to arrive in my mailbox. But when you do get the new catalog, you will find that there is a price increase on quite a few things within the catalog. Cardstock, inks, punches, ribbons, stamp sets, dies, all kinds of things. Like, it's across the board. Stampin' Up! Has had to raise the prices due to increased costs. So if you have things you want to stock up on, adhesive is going up. I think this adhesive is $5 in the catalog now, and I think it's going up to like $6.50, which is the substantial increase of $1.50. But I use that Tombow adhesive quite a bit, and then the snail adhesive as well. But anyway, all kinds of adhesive are going up too. So keep that in mind. Okay. Let me get the supplies here that we are using. This is my cut up pack of paper. I'm going to show you this full pack instead, because those are just all my pieces and parts and all the things. Okay, so on this first project, we are going to, so you want to grab your supplies with the coral on them. And well, let me show you what we're using first, and then I'll circle back to that. So this is the Inks Botanicals Designer Series paper. Beautiful pack of paper. It's retiring. I can't think right offhand if it is on sale. You know what? Let me look. You check and see if I can, because I went through my catalog and I tried to write everything down that was going to be retiring and like what the prices were. So the inked and tiled, yeah, it actually is gonna be on sale. It's gonna be on sale for 10, but again, it's not on sale until April the 9th. So if it's something you wanna try to get on sale, definitely order it at that time. Several of the papers are actually on sale. Anyway, it's a really pretty pack of paper. I'm just gonna kind of fan through it here so you can kind of see the patterns. I think we've looked at it before. We've used it in class. It's a really beautiful pack of paper with the images that are very complementary to the um, inked and tiled stamp set, which we are using on another project. So yeah, just wanted to point that out to you. The embellishments that I grabbed were actually on the clearance rack. I think these were like $3. And we are using the coral, the cameo coral. That was like an old retired color. Calypso coral. We're using that that color, but these are the coral is up here under the label. They were on the clearance rack for $3, so that's a great little value there. The stamp set that I'm using is Courage and Faith. I believe this one is, I think this one is, you know what, I'm gonna have to look now. I really should have looked this up before I started the video, but that's just the way things are going today. So Courage and Faith, page 72. Let me look. Courage and Faith, yeah. No, it's retiring. No, it is retiring. So if you like the stamps, then definitely grab that before it's gone. So there's not a sale on it. It's the full price, which is 26. But I like the images in here that you can color in, or you can just stamp them as is, which was what we're going to do in today's card. And then I like the May the Lord bless and keep you and be of good courage put together just for a really nice card for someone who needs some encouragement. Just letting somebody know that, you know, let them know that you're thinking about them. I think those two go nicely together. Okay, and then the dies we're using are the timeless arrangement dies. These are retiring as well, which I really loved. I was kind of disappointed about that. Let me see if I can find the. We'll just end up doing like little sidebars every single time here, I think. Timeless arrangement. Let me find those. So I can tell you. Yes. So the dies are going to be on sale for $28. They're normally 35. They will be on sale on April the 9th for 28. And then let me just look at I don't think these, the other one we're using is Nested Essentials, and I don't think these are staying. So the Nested Essentials, it's a great versatile pack for different die cut images. Again, the ink color we're using is Calypso Coral. So, okay, so the supplies that we've got a Very Vanilla envelope. Oh, by the way, and Very Vanilla it's gonna be retired. We're not gonna have that anymore. And it's such a it's such a soft neutral to be able to use. They're coming out with it's called like a basic beige. And it's kind of like a little lighter than our like Sahara Sand or River Rock that we used to have. So if you're familiar with that, but yeah, Very Vanilla is going to be retiring. So if it's something that if you like that neutral, definitely grab some packages of that before it's gone. So I've already done the die cutting from the Timeless Arrangements dies. And in your kit, you should have a couple of 2 in coral. You should have 2 in the petal pink. And then 1 in the Very Vanilla, which I ended up cutting this one in half as I was playing with it, but I'll use it that way. So you should have 1 vanilla, 2 of each of the colors. And I just use those dies to die cut them out of the colored cardstock. We've got a piece of Calypso Coral that is 5.5 by 8.5, and you've got it scored at 4 1/4. And then I've got a piece of designer series paper. Now you could have any combination of the coral and petal pink paper. So your petal pink might be the bigger size, or it could be the smaller. It could be a combination. The pattern might be slightly different too. They're all from the pack, the Inked and Tiled Designer Series paper. So, and of course you've got two different sizes, so you can always change it up and do it differently than the way I'm doing it on the project. But the one piece you'll have is going to be 2¼ by 5. And then you'll have another piece that's going to be 1½ inches by 5. And you've got two pieces of Very Vanilla, and they are cut 4 by 5¼ Okay. I have gone ahead and already taken the Nested Essentials dies, and I use the second to the largest pendant die cut, and die cut that out of the center of our cardstock. You know how I am about saving paper. You're needing this piece, and it doesn't add any extra weight to your card, so it's good for mailing too. So I went ahead and die cut that out for you out of the center of your vanilla cardstock. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start by just folding our card base in half. Let me grab my bone folder and flatten that. Okay, and we're going to come in with this vanilla piece, and then I'm going to put some adhesive. Now, since I've got this out of the center of my layer, I know that this is going to create a layer around, I'm going to have a frame around my designer series papers. So I'm just actually going to go ahead and put my adhesive just kind of around my die cut area on my vanilla. That way I don't inadvertently put some adhesive in the center of this and then get it all over my workspace. So I'm just going to leave about 1/8 of an inch, and I'm just going to kind of set that down there, and then I can kind of position them. I'm not going to press it into place, just to make sure I've got them right where I want them. So basically you're setting on there so it makes a nice frame border around your vanilla piece, and I like where those are at, so I'm just going to go ahead and press them into place, and I've got my front layer there. And then we're going to come back with our inside layer and the label and our envelope to do a little stamping. I'm going to grab a piece of paper here. So I have a little bit of a stamping mat. Okay. So I'm going to start with my, may the Lord bless and keep you. Put that on the front of my label. Put that, and then just get this cleaned off with my chamois. Okay. And then I'm going to take this little sprig that was in the Courage and Faith stamp set and put a little swish of it at that bottom corner, and then one up here at the top corner. And I want to go ahead and do that on my envelope as well. Here too. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and clean that one off. And then come in with the Be of Good Courage. All right, and I think that's all of our stamping. So I'm going to go ahead and shut the ink there. And we'll take this, put that off. I need to grab some dimensionals here. Sorry for the arm reach here. I'm just looking for my pack of them. all I'm grabbing is the minis, so we'll go with the minis because that seems to be what I'm getting right now. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some adhesive on inside layer. Okay. And then we'll come in with our designer series paper piece layer and just put some adhesive around that. Okay. And just center that nicely so you've got a nice frame of the coral around there too. So I want to put some dimensionals on the back side of this, which I would normally use um the regular ones, but just grab the minis. So okay, so I've got some dimensionals underneath my tag, and I want to go ahead and build up some blossoms around this tag. So I'm going to do it actually before I put it on my card front. So what I'm going to do, the great thing about this die set, which I'm like so disappointed that it's leaving because it literally just came out. But I love that it has these little bars here so that you can just put some adhesive on them and glue those right, right behind what you want them to kind of pop out from behind. And you're not messing with like little tiny pieces and getting glue all over your fingers. It just gives you that nice little bar to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on, and I'm just putting them on the sides of my card. And there's really, you'll have different ones in your kit. You're going to have, you might have this one in the petal pink and not in the coral. You can layer them however you want. So there's no right or wrong way. So, and if you want to cut them, which is what I'm going to do on this one. Like that's what I did on the vanilla one because I want to break up where I'm putting the color. I'm just going to cut that. So you can just cut that little bar and go ahead and put some adhesive on that. Okay. I'm going to put a little color right there. And then I think I actually want to peek some out on this side. So I'm going to put that there. And I've done the same with the vanilla ones. So I'll put a little adhesive on each one of these. There. I want to put this one right here. Oh, that'll be perfect. Except I've got a dimensional right there. Peel that off and lower it. I like that popping out from the corner like that. So you've just kind of got some of these sprigs all around your card. Again, no right or wrong way to do it. Get these little dimensional backs off of there. Okay. And then I'm just going to place that. Once I like where that's at, I'm just going to press that in place. Now you'll notice like, so I didn't do this so that it was like right in half. The designer series paper was in half because you've got the abstract, like, what do I want to say? Little flower pieces around there. I didn't want it to have to be symmetrical. So that's why you've got a shift in the line there. And I think it works nicely with the eye. I don't think it throws it off. feel free to give me feedback. You can let me know in the comments, like, hey, Christina, I did not like that. Or yes, I do like that. I see what you're saying. But you could do this card with any designer series papers. And these little sprigs and would work in any color. So, all right. So I'm gonna take my take your pick tool and take a couple dimensionals or a couple embellishments and just put some of those down on our tag. Put that back right there. And that is our first card. Okay. So there we go. All right, I'm gonna clean these supplies up and I'll come right back and we'll do another project. Okay. All right, we're back with the next project, or I'm back with the next project. And this one is we're using the inked and tiled stamp set. So we just got done using the designer series paper, and we're going to use the stamp set on this one. And I went ahead and looked that up because I was so, jumbled before. So you'll find the inked and tiled stamp set on page 94, 95 in the big book. And they're both retiring, the punch bundle that comes with it, and then the stamp set itself, along with the designer series paper. Actually, I think that ribbon's retiring too, and it could be on sale. So the stamp set itself is not on sale. However, the bundle, if you would, order after April the 9th, you could take a chance and get the bundle. It is, let's see. I don't know. I don't think that's right that I have down there. I think the punches are 32. So the punches, because it's 2 punches, so they would be $20 a piece normally, so it's 40. But I have written down here $32. I don't know if the bundle, I'm not sure if the bundle price is $32. I don't know if I can check that for you really quick, because I don't feel bad if I'm gonna tell you the wrong thing. Let me look and just see. Oh, just hang with me here, ladies. Let's see, 147. Inked and tiled. So it's the punch pack. So I was gonna say the bundle, that'd be like over 50% off. So you can get the punch pack at 20% off. And so instead of 40, it's $32. And that goes with the images in this stamp set and the designer series paper. So yeah, so that we're using that stamp set, we're using these embellishments, which I'm pretty sure those are so two. Let me look here. If I can find them in the catalog. I'm sure they're they're literally right in front of me. It is the In Color Dots, and they are on sale for $7. So they're $1 off. So it's like 10 something, maybe 20% is not off. No, 20% would be like, they're $7. So they're retiring. And then we are using the current In Colors. And there's I have an example here to show you of this exact same card, stamped with all the In Colors that are retiring, which is the Sweet Sorbet, Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, Starry Sky, and Orchid Oasis. Now so all items in those colors are retiring. And I will tell you that the Stampin' Blends in those colors are actually going to be 40% off. So you can get a set of Stampin' Blends instead of $10. You can get them for $6 starting April the 9th. So something to keep in mind on that as well. I'm going to look up this last embellishment here. Okay. So I was just checking something there. Anyway, so again, embellishments, a stamp set. So we're using the current In Colors that are sticking around. That's Moody Mauve, Copper Clay, Wild Wheat, Pebbled Path, and Boho Blue. So let me show you an example of this project using the bright colors. So this is the layout of the project, but using different colors. And you can hardly see that Parakeet Party in the camera. It's like so bright. You can barely see that it's there, but in person you can read it quite fine. Anyway, so these colors are retiring. Here they all are. And this is the exact same card that we're going to make here, only with the brighter colors. And then the embellishments, these are the in color pearls, and they come in all 5 colors too. And you could easily substitute those embellishments instead of these flat in color dots and kind of achieve that same effect. So I just wanted to share that with you to give you a different perspective on a bright color palette as opposed to like more muted tones, which is what we're going to do right now. So just sharing that with you. All right, so let's get started stamping. We've got our supplies are in front of you. So you're going to take you've got your envelope. You've got a piece of thick basic white cardstock. So you're going to notice this is a little thicker. It is 5.5 by 8.5. And you've got that scored at 4 1/4. So we're just going to go ahead and flatten that. So got that ready to go. Then you've got a piece of boho blue that is 3 3/4 by 5. And you've got a piece of basic white, and this is just our regular basic white, so it's a little thinner than what you're going to feel your card base is. And that's 3.5 by 4 3/4. Okay. And I know you're probably asking, you're like, Christina, you didn't even cut anything out of this. I know, it's disappointing, but there just wasn't anything to cut out for this one. So I did not do that. I'm going to bring in our stamping mat here. Side. And open up all of our inks here. So we're going to use all 5 colors. Okay. And I'm going to set the stamps on the colors that I'd like to use them with, just for making things easier for me when I'm grabbing colors. Okay, so put that there. All right. So we're going to start with our card base. And I'm going to stamp this little like swish brush mark first. And I'm going to stamp this one off. So I'm going to stamp it and then stamp it on my card. Stamp it down. And I'm just putting this on here to create a little texture in the background. Some of it we're going to layer over it. You're not going to be able to see this thinner part, but okay. So clean that off. Done with that one. I like this project because it pretty much uses, well, we've used a lot of the stamps, just some of the other greetings are in here, which is a great, there's just a note, happy birthday, hello friend, lots of love, congratulations, and thank you. So it covers a lot of different occasions, but we're using all the images within the stamp set. So then I'm going to take this little flower and stamp it just kind of randomly around the edge. And you might be saying like, well, Christina, that is really dark, like it's almost black. It does stamp really dark, but as it settles into the card, it softens. So it's such a beautiful color. Just add in some little extra points there. Got that. And I think I'm done with that one. Right, I'm going to go ahead and close that. And then we're going to set that one aside and we're going to stamp our card or our layer. Now this is the biggest image on this layer. So I'm going to stamp that one first and then Moody Mauve. And okay. Clean that one off. And I'm going to be done with that color. And I'm going to come in with the boho blue in the leaf stamp and just kind of stamp that off to the side there. And I want, because I've got my layer in that, I'm going to use that on the front of my envelope too. So I'm going to add that blue leaf there. I love, stamping. You can make like your images any color. Have you ever seen blue leaves? I mean, maybe like on like a eucalyptus, but like on a traditional plant, typically no. But in the stamping world, you can make it whatever color you want. So then I'm going to use the little blossom here, and that is in the wild wheat, which this wild wheat color is growing on me. I do love it mixed with the other muted tones. It's very complimentary. Oh, you know what? I'll put one. Oh, no. It's a good thing I cleaned that off before I went on the blue pad. Luckily, I'd cleaned it off. I want to do that in the wild wheat. I'm going to add that just on the front of our card. Just to kind of pull that design from the outside of the envelope right into the inside of the card. And shut these two inks up. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with the hello friend. And we're going to do the hello friend in the copper clay. And hello friend, you can use that on, what you can make it a birthday card, you can make it a thinking of you card, whatever you might need it to be. It just kind of lends itself to whatever occasion you might need it for. Okay. All right, so we've got all of our parts. We are ready to layer and assemble our card. So I'm going to come in with some combo adhesive and just layer that on my boho base. And then we're going to come back in with some more adhesive and layer that boho layered base right on our card front. And see how that pebbled path is already softened. It's just really pretty in the muted color there. And then that's all the stamping we're going to do. We're ready to embellishment, and this card is done. I love the simplicity of this card. And again, it's like it's a great way to use all of the images in the stamp set, and then a multitude of colors that kind of all go together. So let's see, I need a blue gem, and then we'll go with a Moody Mauve one and one of the wild wheat. Okay. These gems are great because they're low profile. So when you're doing your project, they could be down in the envelope of your kit. There, you should have the 3 different colors in there, but look in your kit. Same with the other project too that we did. You may have to look down in there because those embellishments might be stuck in your envelope. Okay, so there is our next project. And you know what? I put that there, and I think it actually might be better up there. Let me see if I can. Yeah. I don't know. I think I kind of like it better there. You could put it down there though too, at whatever point you want to, but I can like it there, take it there. Okay, so that is our second project. Let me clear this space off here, and I'll come back with one more project here to share with you. Okay, we're back with the next project here. Oh, I keep saying work there because I'm the only one here. But anyway, okay, on this project here, we are using the Craft White ink pad. We're using Bubble Bath ink. I've got a blending brush for blending. We are using the Layered Florals 3D embossing folder, and this is in the January through April catalog, and it is carrying over, so it will be staying. So it's not price discounted. I think it's 10 or 11. I think because it's a 3D folder. We're using the Stylish Stitch Shapes, and I'm pretty sure these are carrying over. I believe so. Let me look. I don't think they're retiring. I apologize for not double checking that before we started here. Yeah, they're staying. So these are carrying over. They're a great die cut set with circles, layering circles, squares, and banners. I think there's 4 of each, but mine are like jumbled, so it's various sizes in those images. And then I'm using the Good Feeling stamp set. I love the large sentiments in this stamp set. This one is retiring. For this project, I've done the You're on My Mind and in My Heart. So I feel like that can accomplish a lot of different things depending on if you've got somebody, a friend or a family member that's going through something, you just need to let them know that they're in your thoughts. So yeah. So that one's retiring. And then we're using the sheer ribbon trio pack. So in this ribbon pack, you get bubble bath ribbon, azure afternoon blue, and then the lemon lolly. And it normally is $12.50 for the 3 packs, and it's actually on April 9th, it's going to be on sale for $8.75 for 3 spools of ribbon. There's 5 yards on each spool. So that's a great value. I've used a lot of this ribbon in classes and stuff. I like it. It ties really well. It lays really nicely. And I'm just using the bubble bath color. Okay, so your supplies. And I had gone ahead and actually done some of this. So we're a little bit ahead of the game here. So you've got a piece of bubble bath that is 5.5 by 8.5. You've got an envelope that is, standard envelope. Then you've got a piece of basic white that is 4 by 5.25. And you've got a piece of bubble bath that is 4 by 5.25. Both these things are embossed for you, as well as your envelope, and I'll kind of share with you how we did that. And then you've got 2 pieces of ribbon. You've got a longer piece that we're going to put around the card. And then this is what we're going to tie our little faux bow. So it's going to look like a faux knot. And I'll explain that as we get to that point. And then I had already gone ahead and stamped You're on My Mind and You're in My Heart because I adjusted the size of the die. So let's pause a little bit and I'm going to share with you how I did that. So I used this the largest square in the Stylish Shapes dies. So if I put that over my sentiment, you're going to be like, well, Christina, this is like way bigger than what your sentiment is. So what I had originally done was when I had die cut this, I went ahead and die cut it and made it that large and stamped it. And I felt like I had too much white space on my greeting. And I felt like it was taking away from the front of my card. It was bigger than what I wanted. So I just adjusted my die down. So what I did was I dropped it down so it was just above the top of my greeting, which the color is so light, it's hard to see there. So I just had it so it was top of my greeting. I lined it up, within the little stitching, what do I want to say? The stitching lines here. When you've got it die cut like this, it's going to kind of set back in place. So you're going to feel it fit into those ridges. And I ran it through the die cutting machine so that I could get rid of that extra bar of white at the top. And then I repeated that same thing and just dropped it down lower and did it on the bottom. So I essentially was taking, I don't know if I have another big square in here. I don't, but you can see, so this is some of the ones that I had left because once I knew I was going to drop that, make it smaller. So see if I put these 2 together, it makes the square. So I essentially got rid of this piece and now I have like an extra rectangle label that I thought, well, I could just use. I'm just going to put it in my die pack here. So hopefully that makes sense. What I think I did this on another video as well. And it's just a great way to increase the versatility of your dies. If you are, if you've got squares, but you need rectangles, you can take this square and make it into a rectangle just by moving your die on the cardstock and reducing that size yourself. So it just increases that versatility of your product. So I always like to kind of share that. So that's why this is already gone ahead and stamped because I just pre-did that so you didn't have to watch me through the whole process there. If you need additional clarity, I'm happy to explain it. Please just feel free to reach out. Okay, so we're going to come back in with our pieces here. All right, so we're going to start with our embossed piece. So I used the layered florals for that and went ahead and ran that through and embossed it. and I'm going to take my white craft pad and I'm going to do a direct to paper technique just by gently pulling my white craft pad across my cardstock. And I'm just going to use my take your pick tool to kind of hold that in place so that I can drag this. And what it's doing, you can kind of see this on the camera there. It is just allowing white ink to catch on those embossed areas, kind of highlighting it a little bit more, making it pop out. So you've gone from just a white panel to this like soft, or a white panel, a bubble bath panel to like the white soft highlights on there. So I'm going to let that set aside because that crafting takes a little bit longer to dry. So we're going to let that set aside while we're doing some other things with our card. So on this card, I did something a little different. So I went ahead and embossed the lower portion of my inside layer just to do something different on the inside. It kind of takes that embossing just all throughout the card and just really just really makes it just I don't know, something special. I really like this. I'll probably do this again on things. And then I did it on my envelope as well. So all I did was take the embossing folder, like for the envelope, I just inserted, kind of see right there, it'll lock into place. So I inserted my envelope just like this and ran it through my cotton emboss machine. So it just embossed that edge because I didn't want to make sure, I didn't want to do it too far over because, you know, you have to be able to put your address here. And this side, you didn't want to do that because that's where you're going to put your stamp, of course. So I just did that, ran that through, and it gave me this beautiful like detail on the envelope. And that's the exact same thing that I did on my cardstock as well. Put that in there just about an inch or so in, ran that through the cut and emboss machine, and it embossed it beautifully for me. So just give it kind of just such a feminine touch to it. I really, I like this. And like I said, I think you'll be seeing this again at classes. So I've got my bubble bath ink, and then I'm going to take my blending brush and we're going to kind of carry the blending and that heighten of the embossed areas just to highlight them like we did on this panel. I'm just going to do it with some blending with the bubble bath. So I'm going to just come in at the base of my card and swirl around some soft color. Okay. And that just gives a little hint of pink there. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do that on the envelope as well. This would be really, really beautiful to do on a wedding card too. So we've got a little hint of pink there, highlighting those embossed images. Okay. So we are done stamping there. I'm going to bring my card base back in and fold that. You've got it scored at 4 1/4. And I'll flatten that with the bone folder. And then I'm going to go ahead. This is still kind of drying, but I can work with my ribbon on it. So when I'm doing ribbon, I'm doing like a faux knot. This is always good if you're short on ribbon or you have trouble tying the ribbon around cards. This works really well for that if you have difficulty with that. So what I do is just take my ribbon and determine where I want to place it on my card. So I'm going to put it right about there. And then I've got some Scotch tape on my fingers here. I just like to use Scotch tape on the back side when I'm doing this technique. So I'm just going to Scotch tape it to the back. Come around the other side. And Scotch tape that. We're going to see if anything was still wet there. Yeah, there's a little bit of right crafting there. So I've got that around the front of my card. It's just Scotch tape to the back to keep it in place. And then I'm going to take my smaller piece of ribbon, insert that under the piece that I just fastened on, and I'm just going to tie it in a single knot, just one single tie. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this together, and we're going to add our greeting there. So let's put our inside layer. I definitely like to use the liquid glue when I'm doing an embossed piece for sure, because it allows me to get in the nooks and crannies. Putting that in place. And then do the same on this. And because this might still be a little wet, I'll put my piece of stamping paper over top of it to set it down. So I'm just going to set that and create a frame on my card. Press that down. So in case I have any ink there, I don't get it quite all over my fingers. Okay, so I've got that on the front. Tie that a little bit tighter. I'm going to put this on with some dimensionals. And because I've got my ribbon there in the center, I want to make sure to put my dimensionals on the top and bottom and not in my center, because it's going to make contact with the ribbon. And because these are minis, I'm going to go ahead and put 6 down here, because if I had just the regular ones, they would be fine to do 4, but the minis, I need some extras. Okay. That way I can kind of just put this right over top of my ribbon, and it's still going to make contact with my card and hold down. Okay, now that I've got that in place, I'm going to take my scissors and just clean up those ribbon ends, kind of cut it down a little bit. Sometimes they get a little frayed while you're working with it to kind of tighten it. Great. And there is our final card. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments of the video. I would love to hear your feedback on what you think of the projects, and I hope that you enjoyed them. If you are watching the video and if this is for like a club order or a stamp, this host code does not apply. This host code is just my current monthly open host code. So that's JRFDX9PZ. It's not connected to any club orders. So if you're watching this in connection with the club, don't use that order. You'll want to make sure to email me your order so I can put it with the correct hostess. So, okay. All right. Well, let me see. Let's see. So this, I'll bring the projects back in. We've had. So there and there. These are our 3 projects that we did tonight. I hope that they gave you, provided you with some creative inspiration, and would encourage you to get your stamps out and make some cards and send them along their way to brighten somebody's day. It's just a quick video today. I've got so many things that I want to share with you, with some different cards and things and other things that are coming up, but I just wanted to be able to make sure to get you the project so that you were able to follow along and complete them. And so that's it for now. So I appreciate you so much. Thank you for watching, and feel free to share the video if you'd like to. So, all right, take care, everybody.